Hello, and welcome to part 2 of my second trimester bump date, where I discuss some information and some topics I didn't discuss in the first video. Now it's going to be generally kind of a long video, so there will be a third part as well. I have a list of things that I want to go over. So I'll just go down the list as fast as I can. And we'll take it from there. So, the first topic is obsession with the ocean in my first trimester. I had a yearning for the ocean that was almost physically painful. I wanted to spend all my time at the ocean. I just wanted to be in the water forever and never ever leave. I've always loved the ocean. It's always been a happy place for me. It's always been a peaceful place for me. And there's actually a science behind why some women in the first trimester will have dreams about being in the ocean or being by the ocean. And the science behind it is that it's a biological way for you to first start bonding with your baby. The ocean represents the amniotic sac that you are forming for your baby. The cool thing about this science is a lot of the time women will dream that they are deeply submerged in the middle of the ocean. I had dreams like that all the time. And I had dreams where I was like face to face with a humpback whale or an orca or a shark, and it was like really peaceful. And the science behind that, or not the science behind that, the idea behind that is the ocean is so big and so vast, and it looks empty, but life thrives in the ocean above anywhere else. It looks empty, but there's life all around you. In the amniotic sac, there's nothing there other than little ingredients that form your baby and help your baby grow and develop. So, second topic, cloth diapers and wipes. I will have both because sometimes things happen. You don't have enough cloth diapers. You don't have enough money to wash them as frequently as you should. Disposable diapers are a backup in my mind. But I will be aiming and saving to get as many cloth diapers as I can get a hold of. I'd like at least 30 cloth diapers. Because babies poo and pee a lot. And it happens. And cloth wipes just make sense. Like, why have disposable wipes and not disposable diapers? In a sense, because disposable wipes aren't as, excuse me, they aren't eco-friendly either. You just throw them away, and it's honestly more trouble to go through disposables and the cost expense of disposables than to just get the cloth and wash it. And I have a lot of fabric and a lot of clothes that I don't use anymore, and they're not good enough to get to donate, so I can just turn them into cloth wipes. I don't see anything wrong with that. And the thing with disposable diapers is you're supposed to dump the solids in the toilet before disposing of them anyway, and that's basically what you do with cloth diapers. So what's the difference really, other than cost and the effect it has on the environment? So, the next topic is scrapbooking. The very first image I have is of the amniotic sac. Like the baby wasn't even really formed yet. So I want to document everything I can. I hear someone talking. But I want to document everything I can. So I want it to be pretty. I want it to be something that we all can look back on and I want it to be something special. Let's see. The next thing is exercise. How have I been getting my exercise? I've been hiking mostly. Working while pregnant. So it really depends on what your symptoms are, what your situation is, and how much in need you are. The first trimester for me was awful. I had no energy, I was just nauseous the whole time, and I worked in a place that burned this oil to coat ball bearings while we assembled them, and that smell made me nauseous. So the first trimester I didn't work, other than for a month. Then in the second trimester I started working again. I had my energy back and I like my job. Nothing smells bad there. So it depends, and I'm working part-time. No place will hire full-time no matter what out here anyway. But I like part-time because I get to work and I get to enjoy my pregnancy. So it really depends on who you are and what your situation is. Plans after birth. There's two scenarios I see happening. One is that we have saved enough money to move up to the area that we would like to move to and work on our homestead. The other scenario is we don't save up enough money and time, and I get, my boyfriend's mother offered to babysit my baby while I work, and we save up money to move up to where we want a homestead. So that's, to put it bluntly. Let's see. Moving on, the birthing plan. I would like it to be as natural as possible, if possible. If it's just not in the cards, then obviously I'll have to do whatever will save the baby and save me. But what I want is a water birth that's unmedicated. Ideally it'd be a water birth at home, but I can't do that. So I have to get as close as I can possibly get. Let's see. Moving on. The sharing is caring lesson. I don't believe in it. I was raised with it, and me and my friends were raised with it, my brothers were raised with it, and I see nothing good that comes from it. I'm not going to force my child to be greedy, but I'm not going to force them to share either. And if they don't want to share, I'm not going to punish them. Because the more sharing I see in adulthood, the more problems I see. Unfortunately, the way the real world works, whether it be in our modern society or back when we didn't have technology, sharing too much is bad for you, and evidently your own survival and your own longevity should prioritize over someone else's temporary comfort. And that's the unfortunate reality of it. You can help someone who's less fortunate, but a lot of the time they're not going to do anything. They're going to take it, they're going to use it until it's used up, and they'll still be where they are, less fortunate, while bringing you down. So that's a really big deal for me. If they want to share, they can, but I want them to know that they need to take care of themselves first. Make sure they're okay, make sure they're fed and sheltered and all their bills will be paid or whatever. Even in homesteading, there are going to be bills. So I really don't want to punish them for not sharing. Public schools will definitely, they make you feel bad if you don't share with the other kids something that your parents gave you for a snack or something. It seems simple at that time, but if you keep instilling that when they get older and older and older, it becomes a real economic problem, and it becomes a life or death situation. So I'm not going to instill the sharing is caring lesson. Let's see. And then 3 other symptoms I forgot to mention in my previous video. The first one is my nipples have been getting darker. They're normally like a pink, brownish pink, and now they're like a deeper reddish brown kind of thing. So that's interesting. I read a little theory that the reason why the nipples get darker is to help the baby find the nipple faster so they can latch on and breastfeed. So that's interesting. Another one is back pain. I've been having back pain again. I have a previous back injury from middle school, so I'm very used to back pain. And in fact, it gets worse when I'm not doing much. If I'm hiking, it's okay. If I have a long work day, then it'll start to hurt, you know. But I also have a baby pushed on my sciatic nerve. So that's what's gonna happen. I'm not experiencing too bad of back pain, no worse than I've ever experienced before. But it is there, again. And then the last thing is skin problems. I have really good skin. Hate to brag, but I have really good skin. And the worst that I'm getting is the occasional pimple. Like here I got one, now here is one popping up. Looks like there's one forming here. I have some redness, but that's kind of common for me. But other than that, I'm not having any problems. I'm not having major breakouts. The amount of oil I'm producing is the same. Yeah, really what all I've been doing for my skincare is using a konjac sponge and this vegan moisturizer. Give me a second. So, I use the konjac sponge. You just soak it in warm water for about 3 minutes, squeeze the water out, and then lightly massage your face, you know. I do it every day, once a day. And then after that, I apply my Barefoot SOS moisturizer. So that's all I do for my skin, and I'll do that, like, I'll scrub it every day. Honestly, the past couple of days I've been a little lazy, but normally I'll scrub it every day. It's very gentle. I have incredibly sensitive skin, and this is the best thing I've ever used in my life. And this only has like 4 ingredients, and they're natural ingredients, so there's no harm to come. I use a teeny tiny bit, like I probably use like less than a nickel size on my whole face. So that's my facial skincare routine. And for my stomach area, because I am beginning to grow my bump, and it's not like too bad yet, but I'm approaching my 20th week, so it's gonna really start growing. And what I've been doing after I shower is I will take some 100% rosehip oil. I'll take about that much into my hand and kind of rub it around. After opening this, of course, which is coconut and goji berry body butter. So I'll open that, and then I'll put some rosehip oil in my hands, and then I'll grab a little scoop of the body butter and rub it on my stomach after a shower. Stomach and hips, because the hips, I have big hips and they're getting bigger. So, and I will move on to the things that I have gotten myself or have received as gifts. The first thing is a toy. It's like a little, well, It's about the size of a 6-month-old, actually. But it's a reversible stuffed animal. See, it's a penguin with little feet. And then you just flip it, and it turns into a seal. Yay, little feet. And I got this around my first trimester when I was obsessed with the ocean. And this was the closest thing I could find to any sea creatures. But it's still cute, so I got it. And I can't find it right now, but my dad's girlfriend got me a little sock monkey about about this big.